give him that credit, no doubt, right? But this guy is terrorizing Abuja, taking people's lands here and there. Today, they say Navy, they won't take people's land in Abuja as well. But with a Wike, from part of his interview today, concerning his 1 year in office.
See what has happened last night, see what I've done, see what I've made here, see the criminal, and I can tell you with all confidence that they have done well.
What about?
I'm coming. I'm talking one by one. Now I'm talking.
Okay, about 4.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about agric. Yes. Luckily for us, I had a meeting with the ambassador of Italy. Today is Wednesday. That was last week Friday. Yeah. He came here and said, "Look, there's an opening for us to partner with Milan, and what area do we really want?" I said, "Look, I'm not very much interested in all this memorandum of understanding. I'm not interested in all this signing agreement. At the end of the day, you get nothing for it. Practically, tell me how serious are they in terms of partnering with us as far as agriculture is concerned? We have very good land for agriculture. We are ready to provide not less than 20,000 hectares of land for agriculture. And I can tell you, I was very elated as at Monday when I spoke with the governor. And we are going to Milan in the second week of September to concretize this arrangement as far as agriculture is concerned. You see, we talk about, I don't want to talk about, we have been giving out fertilizers, we have been giving out seeds to farmers. That cannot really solve the problem in terms of food security. You need proper farming. And that is why in all the rural areas today, which has not been the case, you can't find roads. And how do you talk about agriculture when there's no road? How do you convey the produce? How? So we make sure that, look, if we're really talking about agriculture, there must also be road infrastructure. That's why if you go to the 6 area councils, go and see the openings. Go and see the openings. The local farmers are happy that, yes, they can go to farm. Security has improved.
What is your target for that sector so we can know what to measure and how to approach it? What are you targeting and when?
We're talking about inner roads.
That was my question. That's where I wanted to go.
This is about food security, guys.
That is where I wanted to go to, because I know that during this administration's first year in office, you did commissioning for between 9 to 11 days.
Yes. Project
upon project.
Yes.
But citizens are asking, with this energy and zeal within the city center, what are you doing for the rural?
That is what I've said here. I said that for the first time, it has never been the case that we have 6 area councils. As I speak to you, there's no area council that you go to now, you will not see 2-3 roads being done at the same time. Even during the commissioning, we also commissioned, not in the way, even though it did not get the attention of the presidency. We did not invite the presidency to come and commission such roads like in Kwale. All right? By this December, by the grace of God, we are commissioning not less than 75 kilometers of road in the 6 area councils. By this
With a Wike. Again, I'm just going to leave that to you, the people in Abuja, to come and tell us if that is true. That won't be from me. But somebody from Port Harcourt believes that that guy you just finished watching, with a Wike, is a danger to democracy. But before I show you that, or let's go to that Port Harcourt and come back to Abuja.
You cannot be in a house where there is no order, where there is no discipline, and you expect things to walk in the right direction. The PDP has been so silent about the demonic attitude of the former governor of Rivers State, who is now FCT minister.
Okay, sir.
Why is it demonic?
Sir, let's
It is
focus on
demonic
the
because
issues. Let's focus on the issues.
anyone-
There's no need for name calling. Let's just focus on the issues, sir.
Now the issues, now you asked me a question about the issue of lack of discipline. And that if lack of discipline is in the party is part of what is fostering the kind of issues we have in PDP today. And I am telling you that from 2023, a man stood in a party and supported a presidential aspirant of another party very openly, with many other governors with him. And then the party leadership up till this day cannot call him to account or to question. And then you say we have leadership. No, we don't have. If you have leadership, what is leadership? Leadership is the man sitting there that can give direction to the people and discipline when necessary. But we have a leadership that is docile. We have a leadership that has completely neglected their duty. And rather, they are in a transactional relationship with a man who is presently controlling them. And then this is the man, the same man that the same party gave a platform to be chairman for 2 tenures, gave him a platform to be governor, gave him a platform to be minister. And because he could not get the party presidential ticket, all hell was let loose and PDP must go down the drain. And then we are seeing it as a party issue. This is not just a problem of PDP. It is danger to democracy. Because if the opposition, the main opposition, cannot play its role of opposition and cannot challenge the status quo as it concerns the government in power, and then you said we are in a democracy. No. And if we have identified an individual to be the one that is directly responsible for such disorderliness, then the person must be addressed. I'm sure you listened to Wike Clark yesterday. He addressed former governor of Rivers State and FCT minister frontally on his role. That is what a nation is supposed to do. Former Governor Wike is a danger to the current democracy. And the President Bola Tinubu must be aware of this. And the earlier all Nigerians are aware and begin to take concerted action to take a man who wants to derail the entire system because of his own personal interest, the better for this.
Yes. Boko Haram, make them come more fight. If you not come more fight, we no go come up for here. So make them come more fight, make it finish. Allahu Akbar. I think and I say and I get power. Make them come more fight. If we no fight, we no go. If we no fight, we no go. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. If we no fights, God go punish them. Say amen. That's right. People in Abuja have been like, these people in Abuja have their land illegally taken over by this Nigerian Navy. No compensation or nothing. And that is why they decided to use their cars to block the entire road leading to Abuja in protest today.
Was anybody?
Hope the road is clear now For those of you who are in that area, Maraba, Yanya, and all those areas in Abuja, you probably should see the effects of the overflow too. It's the same that standard is lost. Nigeria is a place where anything can kill you. You know, it's not just about going out there that Nigeria could happen to you, right? Anything can kill you, or everything in the place is meant to kill you. And that is why some of you who are really accustomed to how things are run in that place, right? You have to pray before you go out. You have to pray when you come back in. You have to thank God when you come back in alive. Say, thank you, God, for bringing me back alive. Now only God knows all the dangers, all the evil, all the spirits, everything. Because most people blame everything on unseen spirits. Meanwhile, Nigerians are contracting all kinds of attacks. That is so not spiritual, but due to systemic failure. But thank God, NAFDAC said they found this. What you consume, you're actually what you eat. That's what they say. I've started eating more now, so you're likely going to see me look so beautiful. I'm going to look more handsome soon, right? Stockier. But imagine if you have to kind of use your own money to buy things that will eventually kill you slowly, like a cooking oil. Yeah, something as ordinary as a cooking oil. Contaminated cooking oil, because some lunatics in a contraption that place, right, decided to use a petroleum tanker to convey vegetable oil, edible oil in Nigeria. So thank you, NAFDAC. Thank you for seeing this one. No, we don't know how many other trucks escaped your radar. But imagine this.
So, sir, further to our findings, can you explain to us why we have two different labels on this vehicle? This one is saying water and beverages. This one is saying petrol and diesel.
That's exactly what triggered that red flag, because that credible information told us that the same petrol tanker or vehicle, truck that they use to load vegetable oil has been used or were being used for petrol or petroleum products. And in fact, we know that this is a public health issue that regards or requires NAFDAC immediate attention. And that was why we immediately went to that area and we caught the trucks being loaded. And in fact, this is a typical example of the reason why we went there to apprehend them and bring those trucks here for further investigation. Investigation is ongoing. Yes, a lot of people have tried to tell us that it is actually for WOF 302 products and beverages, but you cannot have these two things on the same vehicle. Telling us that it is bringing in vegetable oil, and at the same time, we are seeing tags of petrol and diesel on them. So you can't be appropriating and removing at the same time at the instance of public health. And that's why we are making this investigation. And upon conclusion, it's going to be cascaded up for them to know the dangers inherent in mixing petroleum products, which we know are carcinogenic, which we know are not safe for human consumption, into this kind of practice. Thank you very much.
When I was a little boy, I remember the adults back then all panicky, scared. Why? What happened? They said because there was a killer kerosene. Killer kerosene? When I was growing up, okay, we didn't have too many generators like all of you have today. Yeah, there was no reason to have too many generators. We had lanterns. We had atupas. You know atupa? Those local lantern. Because I don't even know what to call it now. What do you call that thing again? Atupa. And you have to fill your lantern with kerosene. Yeah. You have to fill your atupa with kerosene. We had to cook with kerosene. I was cooking with firewood. You know something, right? Oh, are you poverty on it? I mean, share poverty. No, it no go better for poverty. Nigeria will make you adapt to the worst kind of living, and you will still be grateful to God. by kind of consoling yourself. I remember when we used to tell ourselves, hey, me, I can't eat any food they cook on gas cooker, be stove. How not they take it time? You know the sweets. You know when they cook your food with firewood. More delicious. So how do you always go and grind? How do you guys eat food they blend with blender? Instead of you to kind of use your hand on that grinding stone and use your hand to grind and grind or more. If you eat the soup, we then use hand grind, right? Pepper, we then use hand grind. And the one then use machine, you go know the difference. But I can't celebrate poverty in the boys. To God be the glory, they will say. That we don't look like what we have been through. That's what they say. Princess, Abibeko. We thank God that we no longer look like what we have been through. If you know what we have been through, Allah will need threaten me with anything. That's one thing people should know. If people know what a lot of us have been through, Baba listen to threaten a lot of us. You go know say if you threaten us about anything like this, can trigger anger, we bury somewhere when we found out that Nigeria deliberately ruined the lives of millions of people that way. And only few of us make it through. Millions perished in that state. They were born in that state. They will perish in that state. Only few of us managed. So when you now come out, shut up your mouth. Wash your mouth. I'm going to pie down. I'm going to power. Anthony can watch my mouth funny. Or I'm going to show funny. You know? And that was why way back. Imagine you are complaining of not having money, no food, no money to buy food. You can't get money to buy food, but Laura carcinogenic food. Cancer, carcinogenic you. So when we asked them, kilo kerosene, it was because they use the same truck that they are using to transport petroleum, highly inflammable petroleum products. They use them to also transport the household kerosene products. A lot of people got burnt, deformed, because of that. They said, killer kerosene. As poor as we were, they still threaten our life. Poor people still got burnt, exploded, because they paid to buy kerosene. Because standard was compromised. People died. People are left with, lifetime scars from that. Imagine how you as adults, you are eating. They say the cancer where you get to, because you chop petrol plus diesel plus ororo. Nigeria is just there to kill you. That's what I mean. Nigeria is there to kill you. Now, if you think making money is all you need, you haven't learned. Your money is useless in a contraption like that place. Maybe you don't know. Ask the rich people. By the way, or anyway, Peter Obi was at the DNC, Democrats Party in America, said, they are doing their national convention right now for Kamala, this and that. Then he granted this interview. Something for the rest of you before we come to the end of the chat tonight, okay? Here, Peter Obi in Chicago yesterday.
Mr. Peter Obi, the presidential candidate for the Labour Party in the 2023 general elections in Nigeria. And I believe that you are here on invitation, sir.
Yes, I'm here on invitation of the National Democratic Institute. They usually, every 4 years, since 1984, alongside the convention, invite international leaders across the globe. Like this year, they invited from 91 countries, including Nigeria, which they invited a number of us. I saw Professor Sibanjo here, and I'm here to just discuss issues of democracy and good governance, which has been wonderful. I've listened to people across everything, starting from the chairman, Senator Dashel, and this morning we had a discussion with the chair, DNC chair, and the former chair.
Now, when we are speaking about the DNC this year, we must talk about President Joe Biden stepping down and saying that his Vice President, Kamala Harris, should run and should get the ticket.
Could a kid with a stutter and modest beginnings in Scranton, Pennsylvania and Claymont, Delaware, grow up to sit behind the resolute desk in the Oval Office? That's because America is and always has been a nation of possibilities. Possibilities. We must never lose that. Never. Kamala and Tim understand that this nation must continue to be a place of possibilities.
Last night, he stood up and he said that he loves his job and he loves his position, but he loves his country more. Do you believe that this shows a selflessness that we do not often see in Nigerian politics?
For me, it was the ultimate sacrifice. For him to say, I love my job, but I love the country more. So I have to step down so that somebody who is more energetic and younger can do it. That's all he described yesterday. And again, I'm so impressed with Hillary Clinton, who was an aspirant alongside Obama, lost to Obama, was a candidate in 2016, and now coming back to support somebody who is younger, more energetic and everything. This is what we are not seeing in our country. And most importantly, all this convention and discussion have been about the people. This is what we're not doing in Nigeria. It's been about the people, the common people, the poor people, the average American. It is not about me and everything. And when you look at the people who are all involved, I was, listening and talking with the chair of DNC, Jamie Harrison, who is just somebody who was born in the 70s and from a single mom, being raised by the grandparents. You could see a background that is ordinary, becoming something and being part of it. Government, with every expenditure, must be to the people.
And how do you feel about the current state of our nation?
Well, it is for people to see it where we are today and what is happening to us. And that's why I said, when you listen to people here, it is not about doing this or doing that. It's about cutting costs and pushing to the people. When Biden was giving his testimony yesterday, he spoke a lot about issues of health, issues of how he has brought the cost down for the common person. I don't want to compare Nigeria and America. I've always done that. I want to compare us with other countries like Indonesia, where you have today over 90% insurance covering poor people. You look at Vietnam, where you have over 80% insurance covering the poor in health. These are critical, where you have literacy of over 90%, literacy in Indonesia, over 90% in Vietnam, covering the people. This is what is important. So when I listen to people in America, I compare with other developing countries and see we need to do something very quickly, especially about the poor, pulling people out of poverty, dealing with the issues of the poor people in the north, the downtrodden, those who don't know where the next meal will come from.
I don't know how una go handle except if some of you are going to pretend. In Nigeria, not Nigerians outside Nigeria, I'm talking about Nigerians in Nigeria, as well as many Nigerians who are like not living in America, but living outside Nigeria, especially those who are really, really politically conscious. They are not for the Democratic Party. You know why? Because a lot of people have found out their role in further destabilization of especially Africa under them. And you can't take it away. So at the same time, you have those who, I don't know how to put that one, though. You have those who strongly believes that what is wrong with you, Nigerians, supporting Trump? Like, what the heck is wrong, you know? So everybody shall get emotional about this American thing. So a lot of people like Trump simply because they believe that it doesn't meddle in, you know, it doesn't care about your Africa. It doesn't care about what you do with yourself per se. And those who claim to care and what they have done in a way, right? So what happened to Gaddafi? What happened in Nigeria in 2014, 2015? The Obamas, the Clintons, the APCs. You see, all of these things got so many Nigerians on the board of